was a period in time where I was like, oh no, I didn't work out today. It's 12 a.m. I'm going to go get it in right now or I'm going to feel bad about myself.
Hey guys, welcome to the Sheroic Podcast. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Cassey.
And today we're talking about working out.
Yes, we are.
I'm sure that's a big surprise to everybody, but that's a topic we want to talk about.
Working out is our life.
Right, exactly. So obviously you run a YouTube channel that has fitness, you do videos, you train people. I mean, it's incredible the amount of knowledge you have on fitness as it is.
And you ran a huge nutrition bar company, Quest Nutrition, and you guys are fitness fanatics.
Yeah.
So you know all about the nutrition side of everything. So we make a really good team on
Yeah.
that. And obviously, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, Lisa's arms, can you show them off real quick? Show them off,
if
Lisa.
you are.
Oh, look at those muscles.
Yeah,
strong.
I've had a bit of a thing for getting like muscly arms for 10 years now. So
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
I definitely work hard at it.
Yes, you do.
But I love it. It's a lot of fun. Like going up weight. I remember when I was curling 10 pounds and I saw someone curling 20. I was like, how on earth are they curling 20 pounds? Like, that's crazy.
What are you doing now?
25.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, bless you.
Wow.
So,
I love that. And that's the thing about working out. You can keep getting better at it.
Yeah.
I love that.
I so love that. And that was a big thing for me. I initially started working out when I was younger for the external look, right? It's like, I want to lose weight. I want to, get lean. So I'm going to run on a treadmill. And it was like, I hated running on a treadmill.
Oh my gosh, I can't stand it.
Hated it.
I'm not a runner. Sometimes I wish I could get to that Zen point that a lot of runners talk about. But honestly, I'm thinking about, when is this going to end? I don't know what to think about anymore. And like, just thinking about the time. That's all. It's like the worst thing for me. Anyway.
And I felt exactly the same, but I kept doing it for years and years. And then I found the internal power of lifting, like the mindset, everything that which we'll go deep into. I mean, it's crazy to think, like the mind-body connection.
Yeah.
And so many people actually have written in to ask about that. And yeah, I mean, your fans all want to hear about... basically want to pick your brain about working out.
Well, let's do it.
So let's do it. So I've got a couple of questions for you. Let's start the picking.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with a female working out and being on their period. So Crystal Ciclo wrote in and said, I want to talk about working out and being on your period.
Okay.
Because usually once I'm on, I don't want to work out at all, and then it throws my routine right off. So what would your input be for something like that?
Okay, so I've been through periods where they really hurt and I'm cramping up and I cannot even live, basically. I just want to curl up into fetal position and just go to sleep forever. And then I've had times in my life where I don't even feel the thing. And I think it has a lot to do with what I'm eating.
Okay.
For me personally, if I stay hydrated and I'm eating well, the cramps aren't as bad. But, if you're on your period and you really just don't feel like it and you know that working out is going to make it hurt more, then you don't have to work out that day. Right. It's okay. Or do something really slow, like some yoga or something like that. But I really don't think it's healthy to work out when it's going to make you feel worse. So I think it's that relationship you need to have between your mind and your body to see, is today a good day? Can I do it? Well, what do you think? How do you deal?
Well, I want to push it a little further with that. So let's say I'm on my period in agony. I have been really good and I've been motivated and I've been going to the gym consistently and eating right, and I'm on my period and all of a sudden, your hormones change. So I think you need to embrace it. Yeah. Your hormones are changing for that period of time. And so now I feel sluggish. I don't want to get up. All I want to do is sit at home and eat pizza. Right? So let's say I do that, right? Based on what you're saying, look, if you don't feel good, don't push it. And then I wake up the next day and I'm like, I'm still a bit in pain. It really helped yesterday, me staying at home. Pizza made me feel good. So now I stay home again and I don't work out. And from what the way she at least asked this question is, it knocks her completely off.
I see.
Her then schedule or her consistency. What would you do in those situations where you said, if I'm in cramping, I just won't work out? What do you say to yourself the next day that gets you off that couch, that goes, okay, today I actually can. Like, yeah, sure, I'm a bit of pain, but you don't use that. Let's say as an excuse.
Right.
Maybe she's not using an excuse, but let's
Yeah.
do the assumption that the second day, maybe you can work out. But do you tell yourself anything to then get yourself up to start working out?
So here's the thing. I love working out, and I see it as something that I get to do, not something that I have to do. So when I look at it in that sense, I try to make myself feel better.
Can you just repeat that? That's such a powerful line.
The fact that I get to work out and that I don't have to work out.
Yes.
I think working out is a gift. The fact that we have mobile limbs and muscles, like, embrace that. And so for me, I try to make myself feel better so that I can work out. So if that means taking some type of a menstrual pill or like resting a little bit, putting a heat pad on the stomach, I don't know. I do whatever it takes to get up and do my workout because it does actually make me feel better afterwards. Maybe it hurts the first minute or two and it's kind of weird, but I feel like once I'm all stretched out and stuff, I feel better.
So you almost focus on what that can actually, like, I know I'm going to feel better, so just get up now. And
that's normally what I do because I want to work out. And when I want to do anything, I figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you deal?
Exactly the same, to be honest. I know myself so well, and I think that's like such a big thing, right? Know thyself. Know thyself. So I know that when I wake up in the morning, let's say I'm just not in the mood, right? Period, whatever it may be. I just don't want to do it. I'm tired. I know myself, and I know once I get there, once I've put on, it's almost like a ritual. Once I put on my gym clothes, it changes that tiny little switch in my mind one step further.
Yeah.
Then I get my water bottle, and actually, I don't want to lie to the fans out there. I don't drink water when I work out. I drink coffee.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I drink coffee.
Oh, my gosh. Wait,
Yeah.
so when do you drink water?
Well, super diluted. So I drink only 1 cup of coffee a day. But I milk it throughout the day. So what I do is I put like an inch of coffee.
Yeah.
And then like a liter of water.
And why do you do that?
I love hot drinks.
Okay, so you drink hot drinks
I
when
drink
you're working
hot
out.
drinks
What if it's hot outside?
Oh, I'll still drink it.
What?
Yeah.
That I did not even know that. This is cool. I'm learning things at least I didn't know about.
I do. I love sweating.
Yeah.
It's such a release for me. God, this is going to sound super cheesy, but I feel the toxins coming out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I love the feeling of sweating. It affects my mind. It makes me think, yeah, you're a badass. You're working hard.
Yeah.
So like there's this whole like, almost like as I'm talking about it, I didn't realize it's probably why I do it. But I just love hot drinks. So,
but does the coffee make you go harder or something?
No, not really.
Oh.
Because it's not like I'm having massive amounts of coffee in my
so
drink.
So hot drinks and
just
sweat, it just all the same feeling makes you feel like you can go hard.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
that's very different. I drink my drinks ice cold. Now we have the
I know, so true.
Okay, so in this room we actually
I'm gonna grab it.
Okay, I'm gonna grab mine. Okay.
If you're watching a video, if you're watching the YouTube version, we both came with our
Our,
not realizing that
yes.
you were going to bring your flask.
Yes, and it's one of those like 24 hours cold, 12 hours hot bottles.
But let's tell them what you did. You walked in and you're like, oh my God, we've got the same thing.
Yes, and then we cheersed ourselves.
And then we cheers, and yours rattled. And I was like, why is hers rattling? She's like, oh, I love this because it keeps my drinks cold. And I was like, that's so funny. This is coffee.
That is crazy. So we are like opposites, but we're also the best friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love my drinks ice cold.
Yeah.
That's how I love them.
Pick it up again for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Cassie's got an own personalized.
Okay, I didn't do that. It says Cassey. Somebody gave this to me.
Respect.
I would not put Cassey all over my body.
On it. I love that though. I so would. I would want one with Lisa.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just stick it on your purple bottle next time.
Yeah, sticky. But so going back to, for me, it's a ritual. So even if I'm not feeling like I want to work out, I know that every step I take to getting to the gym is another thing to going, okay, like I get that. So I put my gym clothes on, I get my coffee, I get my headphones, right? So each step I'm like, I know that by the time I step foot in the gym and I pick up that first weight, my mind's shifted.
I love that.
So
here's why I always hesitate with these questions about like if I'm not motivated or if I'm on my period and it hurts. Like I always get attacked when I talk about these certain things because I, as Cassey Ho, go really hard at life. If something's hurting, I'm just like, whatever. I need to get stuff done. I'm gonna get stuff done. That's how I roll. But I've gotten attacked before by like, oh, it's too intense. People are going to hurt themselves. If they don't feel like working out, don't make them work out. And like, it's not like I'm making anyone work out. It's just like how I roll. And so when I do answer questions like that about periods, like I don't know what situation they're going through. I don't know how bad or severe your cramps are, if that affects something else in your body. And so I always say, listen to your body. But for me, I listen, but I also push it a little bit because I want to see how far I can get to get stronger, to see how much I can get through that day. But that's
and would you say that you know yourself well enough to know that you have to do that to get to there?
So that's why that question is tricky for me, because until you know yourself well enough, some people will probably injure themselves if they go too hard and they like literally have no sense of what's too much. So that's why it's always the best to be your own doctor, try to figure out how it feels and be really in tune with that feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the difference of if on the day you've got major cramps in your period and you really can't work out, then don't.
Yeah.
Right? But then if the next day, going back to know thyself, the next day, if you say to yourself, am I doing this as a way, right? Like an excuse. Like if you're about to do something you don't want to do, then are you trying to use that as an excuse or reason?
Yeah, and that's about being honest with yourself, which takes time to figure out.
And I don't know if this this lady really uses the period as an excuse or not, or if she really does have issues, and so in taking that off, then she feels guilty about it, and then that guilt, right? Like that's a big thing as well. Like that kind of almost spirals. Do you ever feel guilty about not working out, or what? How do you process that?
Yeah, I do, but it's very fleeting, because the reason why I wouldn't work out is because I have so many meetings that day. I'm traveling or whatever. Like I literally cannot get to the gym. And then I'm just like, whatever, I'll do it tomorrow. But there was a period in time where I was like, oh no, I didn't work out today. It's 12 a.m. I'm going to go get it in right now, or I'm going to feel bad about myself. I didn't burn enough calories or something. But I'm not like that now. I'm wiser, and I know that sleep is very important.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then prioritizing, right? Like even this morning. So I pride myself on always working out. Yeah. Right? Like if I'm tired, blah, 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 that's just, again, know thyself, like what you were saying. Like I don't advise this for other people, but this works for me. Yeah. I want to get my 5-day workout in at least an hour every day. Like that is just what I know. Like I love doing that. Yeah. I get an endorphin rush and all that. But this morning, I woke up and we had major shoots on, our show, Impact Theory, the last few days, and it's been exhausting. And so I hadn't had time to really prepare for today, our podcast. And so I woke up really early this morning and I was like, okay, I'm up early. I've got enough time. If I rush downstairs and I go work out and I rush, and then I stopped myself and I was like, hang on a minute. In trying to do everything, I'm actually causing more stress on myself. True that. And I know myself, and I know that if I get stressed, I'm never going to be able to do everything great. So I know I'm never going to be able to go downstairs, work out, feel like I've achieved like a great workout, and come here and be fully confident on what we're doing today. I just knew I wouldn't be able to do it. So I just stopped and said, don't feel guilty about anything. What is your priority? And I said, my priority is the podcast. My priority is my commitment to you, our commitment to the show. Yep. And so if I miss one workout, big deal. And so I didn't work out, and I spent all morning going through questions. And
you must love us so much. You must love me so much.
Right? Like it's not feeling guilty. Like whether I'm in pain, knowing if I'm in pain and I work out, it's not good for me.
Yeah. And the stress thing, it's a huge deal. I had stress in my life before, actually, from not sleeping. That's where I got my stress from. Because for me, when I work really hard and I'm like just going at it.
Hang on, when you say when you work really, you always work really hard.
Oh, yes. I always work really hard. But there was a moment when I worked so hard that I worked till like 4 a.m. every day. Wow. Editing my own videos, doing everything, like just going like crazy, not healthy hard. So I was getting about like 5 hours of sleep a day or something like that. And I had a lot of trouble losing weight, making my digestive system work and function correctly. And I really didn't realize that the whole problem was because of stress caused by lack of sleep. And so what ends up happening is that I believe it's your cortisol levels rise, and then the lower belly fat actually starts to just stagnate right there, and it becomes really hard to lose weight. And so that's what I was feeling. And I still have some like after effects of that, actually.
Really?
So you're right. Don't stress yourself out. trying to get the workout in and working on the podcast and all this kind of stuff, because it's probably going to end up not doing much for you or being like in the negative too. Yeah.
And I asked myself the question, right? Like, am I using this as an excuse? Because again, like, you just really, people know. When you really ask yourself the questions, like, am I using this as an excuse? Do I really think this is going to help me or hinder me, right? Ask yourself those true questions. Be honest with yourself, because no one else is going to hear. It's just you.
Yeah.
Ask yourself the question and then go, okay, well, now what do I do about it?
So, well, and you work out 5 days a week, so you could just do it tomorrow, the other day, head into the weekend.
Oh,
or
I
whatever.
never work out on the weekend.
Oh, you don't?
I've got a strict rule. I don't.
Oh my God. And why is that?
I need my relax time. And so for me, if I just, so for instance, this morning, woke up really early, worked really hard on the podcast, going over details, because, you know, like, we've got a lot to do.
Yeah.
And literally I said to myself, I chose not to work out today. Now, if I just push that to Saturday's my relaxing day.
I see.
So now I've almost like taken away my relaxing day. And I think it would mess with me with making that decision. Because I so love my Saturdays. If I said to myself, don't do it today, do it on Saturday. That may affect me going, well, forget it. I don't want to work out on Saturday.
How interesting. I don't have rules about days I can or cannot work out. And my rest days change all the time based on my schedule. Because I kind of don't have the luxury of having the same rest day every week. Because I'm traveling or something. So I take the rest day when it's necessary. But for me, I try to work out about 5 to 6 times a week. And I change up my routine a lot. So I know you're into lifting. And just recently, I got into hot yoga, which I never thought I would be into.
I so want to try that.
Oh my gosh. So you sweat so much. You would love it. But here's the thing. So I go through workout phases. So I had a weightlifting phase back in 2012. And then I had a dance phase right after that, and had a bunch of phases. And I had a sprinting phase on the treadmill, which was fine until my hamstring started getting so tight. And I was really happy with how fast I could sprint. I think I got up to about like 12.0 miles per hour on like a 30-second sprint or something.
That's hardcore.
Yeah. Well, I was going hard. But the thing is, I started losing my flexibility. And that's something that I really pride myself in. I love being flexible. I want to get more flexible. That's something I'm trying to work on every single day. And once I started losing that, I was like, for me, the speed wasn't as important as being able to reach long and touch my like nose to my shins and that sort of thing. And so I decided my body is saying it needs more stretching. So I started doing hot yoga, and I love it because you're sweating. It feels intense, but you're also feeling so graceful. So it feels like, you know, it's more of like the Pilates Cassey, that type of thing. So
you like just experiment. Do you feel like you become does it become redundant? Like, not redundant, does it just become repetitive to you and you lose interest, and that's why you kind of like to try different things?
Oh, for sure. I cycle through different types of workouts all the time. There's always like one star workout of the moment. Like, obviously I always do POP Pilates. We're always choreographing for new releases and for the classes at the gym. I do Pit 28 as well when I'm traveling, because you don't have to use any equipment and it gets my cardio. I'm super sweaty. But then there's like new fun things that I get to try out all the time. And because I use ClassPass, it's really easy for me to just like check out different studios and do all sorts of different activities. And for me, it feels like a treat. Like, I don't know, like I just light up when I say that, because when I look through the app, I'm like, oh, what can I take today? A torque class? Or like, can I do hot yoga? Can I go doing like a trapeze thing? I just think it's so fun that your body can get worked out in so many different ways. And I feel like anyone out there who feels like, I hate working out, it's wasting my time, I don't feel good, then I think you probably just haven't found the right one yet. And we're in a day and age where workouts are exploding and new boutiques and gyms are opening up all the time. And actually, don't you have a stat about gym memberships?
Oh,
and stuff
yeah.
Like that?
Let's bring up the stats. These are pretty incredible. When I read it, I was like, what? Total Health Club Gym Studio visits surpassed 5 billion times.
5 billion times.
That's insane. That's crazy,
wow,
right?
That's nuts.
And what's actually fascinating, so I really want to get your opinion on this. Okay. This is crazy. So over 55 million Americans paid for gym memberships, and that equals around 1 in every 5 Americans. But that compares to, in 2000, only 32.8 million. So you've jumped in 17 years from 32.8 million, let's round it up to 33.
33.
So 33 million people in 2000, and now 55 million in 17 years.
That's cool.
Now, it's cool, but the rate of obesity's gone up.
You are so right about that.
So what do you think about that?
For my first thought is that 55 million, but we're also not counting the people who probably do YouTube videos at home and that kind of thing, home workouts.
Yeah, these are based.
These are based on gyms, so it's probably even bigger than that. So I think that's awesome that the gym can be more accessible. Secondly, obesity on the rise.
Do you think that's why there's more gym memberships? Because obesity is on the rise, that then people then go to the gym more?
You know, I think I don't know.
It's fascinating,
I don't know. I think that as a whole, our nation is more conscious of health and fitness and wellness. Yeah. That's definitely the direction it's going in. I don't think it's a trend. I think this is here to stay. I think things that go in and out, hot or not, Zumba or P90X or POP Pilates, whatever, like it's going to go in and out. But I think being healthy and being well is forever.
Yeah.
But is it related to obesity? I don't know. I think obesity, to be honest, has everything to do with what we eat. That is the problem.
So you think that like maybe fast food has got more accessible or like there's more places to go in. But I mean, look, we live in LA, so I think it's a little warped on what we experience, because everywhere you go here, you've got vegan restaurants, smoothie places, like whatever your diet or whatever you think deem healthy, there's a place for you.
Yeah.
But you go somewhere like where my husband's from, I don't want to offend anyone, so he's like in the more rural.
Okay.
To find somewhere healthy is almost impossible. You have every fast food restaurant imaginable.
Yeah.
But to get like a really healthy salad is so difficult.
And you'd have to make that at home.
Yeah, you would, So I actually really found it interesting. I never thought about like social media, but you said like information being more accessible.
Yes.
I wonder if like, let's even take you. Your videos wouldn't be possible if YouTube wasn't around.
Exactly.
If Instagram wasn't around for people to find you on Instagram to then watch your videos. So maybe that's played a big part in at least why gym memberships have spiked.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we have a lot more girls who are weightlifting now too, which I think is cool. And that's great. I don't think girls should be afraid of the lifting room. It's for everybody. Right. Yeah, and I think seeing other girls doing that makes it more, what's the word, like acceptable? Not that it wasn't acceptable, but it just wasn't common.
No, I think you're right. But I think even I don't know if it was acceptable. In fact, when I was probably about 16, I went to my first like official gym. Like I would, kind of mess about with friends and, little dumbbells and stuff.
Yeah.
But I joined a gym at 16, and I remember downstairs was just for men. And
really?
Like it actually was segregated.
Wait, it said men?
It was this is the weightlifting room, but if you want to lift weights, there's a unisex one upstairs.
What?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So I don't actually know if they just wouldn't allow me to go in, or if they were like, this isn't for you. But
is that even allowed?
I don't know. But I took it at the time to be like, that's scary. I'm not going in there.
Oh.
Now, like, I would love to go in there and just
be the only female in there. Yeah.
But isn't that weird?
That is really weird.
So I really think that there at least, back then, there was for sure a stigma about women having muscle.
Yes. And back then, you wanted to be stick thin and that sort of thing. And now it's cool to have muscle and big glutes and that sort of thing. So, I mean, we talked about this in our other podcasts, but like the body types are always changing. The body ideals are always changing. Yeah. But at least this one is more on the healthier side because it's attainable through hard work.
Right.
Yeah. But it's always dangerous when people get too obsessed with stuff.
Oh, for sure.
You can get obsessed with being too skinny, too muscly, too anything. Those extremes are scary because I think life is about finding balance.
Yeah. I think we've spoken about this before. I don't believe in balance, but I believe in harmony.
And remind everyone the difference between balance and harmony, at least in your eyes. Again.
Yeah, and look,
because I forgot.
Yeah, you're right. This is absolutely the definition that I see it.
Yeah.
Balance, people are like, how do you spend equal amount of time working and with your family? Like, how do you balance that? I don't balance it. I spend infinite more time working than I do my family. That's actually my harmony. Like, I love working so much that I have peace in myself when I'm working. And so when people say balance, I think most people think of it as 20% of your time with your family, 20% of your time at working, 20% of your time at the gym.
Yeah.
And that's what they mean by balance, right? I think of a scale. I don't need that.
I see what you mean. So maybe I'm not even using the word balance in the right way, because I work crazy and I enjoy it. Yeah. So in the sense of the visual scale, I don't spend the same amount of time with my family and my boyfriend as I do with, well, no, actually, I spend a lot of time with my boyfriend and
because you guys work together.
Yeah, because we work together. But, you know, other stuff. It's mostly career and it's fun. So maybe harmony is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and look, that wasn't even my quote. I stole that from Lisa Nichols, a very powerful motivational female speaker.
I think I'm going to start using that too.
Yeah. It hit me because I'd never defined it like that before.
Yeah, I kind of just use balance in a loose way, meaning like that I wasn't at any extreme and feeling like just stressed out over life. So,
but let's say if people worked as much as you did, so let's say right now, the amount you work, the amount you have playtime, spend your family, would you say you're happy, harmony within yourself?
I'm so happy.
Okay, but how much % do you spend working?
A lot %.
Rough number.
Okay, 90?
Okay.
I don't know.
And how much do you spend with your family?
If we're talking about my family, I mean so little. In the single
But you
digits.
are so happy with that, in harmony with yourself, that's what you love doing. If somebody else tried to do that, they would be completely out of whack. They may not get the same harmony that you do.
True. I mean, I feel like everyone's balance scale is a different one. It's your own individual scale. So you just got to experiment, see what works for you.
Yeah, and that's such a big thing that people, and this must be actually really difficult for you, right? Because people look at you and they go like, Cassey, what should I do? How do I do it? And you give advice and people are then quick to insult or comment like, oh, that's crazy. But really, you're just saying, this is what works for me.
And that's what I try to emphasize all the time. This diet is what works for me. This routine is what works for me. You can watch, but I'm not diagnosing you and telling you this is what you need to do, because we're all so different. Our bodies are all different, and we just need to figure out what is it that we need to do to find our harmony.
Yeah. There you go. I love that. That's so true. All right, so another question we actually got about working out is from Amelia O'Brien Harbison. And she says, how to stay motivated. I want to lose weight so I can have kids soon. But even with that hugely exciting and, oh my God, this is my goal. She actually put that. That's so cute. I have a hard time eating clean and working out consistently.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think if you have a hard time eating clean and working out consistently, it must mean that you don't like what you're eating and you don't like the workout that you're doing. So figure out how to cook for yourself and try to figure out the foods that you really like. Maybe some people don't like cooking, but I feel like cooking is really fun. And it's like, to me, okay, can I tell you how cooking makes me feel?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is how cooking makes me feel. Basically, it's like making a little business every night, and I love making businesses.
Cute.
Okay, you have your ingredients, you go to the farmer's market, whatever, you're picking all the ingredients, all that kind of stuff. Then you're at the pan, you figure out, what am I going to do to satisfy the customer, which is like my boyfriend or something, right? And so I make up the dish. Sometimes it doesn't taste right, so add a little salt, add a little pepper, and then until 30 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I think this is it. Then you get to plate it. On the plate, you create a presentation, then you give it to the boyfriend, you sit down for dinner, and you're waiting for that last expression, or the first expression. Does he like it? And when he does like it, I just feel like I made $1 million. That's how I feel about cooking.
Cool. Yeah. I had no idea.
And you're nourishing yourself not only with nutrients that you picked from the market, but also with love. And that's how I feel about cooking.
That's so cute. I had no idea.
Yeah, I love cooking.
I want you to cook for me. I don't think you've ever...
I should totally cook for you.
Man, if you're passionate about it, hell yeah.
I love it.
Because here's the thing, I'm the complete opposite to you.
I feel like sometimes we're so opposite sometimes.
We have like such a core foundation that's exactly the same. Like literally.
Yes.
Our beliefs to our core are exactly the same. But I love it when we find things like that. I hate going to the store.
Oh my gosh.
I only ever order Instacart.
Oh my God. Wait, you're going to finish, but I have a story on Instacart.
Okay.
Just go.
I so wanted to see your story now. But literally, I order on Instacart and everyone's like, yeah, but how do you pick your fruit? And I don't care. Like, if it's got a bruise on it, it's got a bruise. Like, I would so rather get it delivered to my house so I can keep doing whatever I'm doing. And look, it doesn't necessarily mean I want to keep working, right?
Yeah.
I may want to hang out with my husband. I may want to watch TV.
Yeah.
But for someone like you who doesn't really hang out much, it's like, that's my peace.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get in the car, spend 20 minutes going to the grocery store,
Yeah.
only to have to pull things off the shelf, to put in my cart, pull back out of the cart, to put on the conveyor belt to pay, to put back into grocery bags, to then take out, like, it's such an arduous process.
Yeah, I get
Only to eat and never be seen again.
That is so funny. Okay, so
Tell me a story
I
about
agree
Instacart.
with the whole going to the grocery store thing. And yes, I don't like picking the same foods every time and going on the conveyor belt and paying for it and then walking all the way to the parking lot and getting in your car. I don't enjoy that. However, I actually enjoy Instacart a lot less than that.
Really?
I signed up for Instacart 4 weeks ago, okay? And then I started putting items in my basket. And just...
Actually, for those of you who don't know what Instacart
Okay,
is, it's basically an app that you go on, you order groceries online from whatever grocery store you want to get them to stop off at, and it's kind of like a service, and they bring it to your house, and you pay by credit card, and they give you bags, and that's it.
Yeah, basically. Okay. And let's just say I didn't make the order until yesterday. It's been 4 weeks. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it was so hard for me to trust that they would pick the right avocado and then I think some of the joy of walking in Whole Foods especially is that you get to go around the store and see like, oh, what's new? What did I miss? Like, what can I try? And if you're on Instacart, I feel like you have to know exactly what you want. And sometimes I don't. I just want to explore.
Right. Yeah,
So
I get that.
That was my trouble with Instacart. So we finally made the order and it came in and like, you know, it wasn't that exciting. So I might just have to go back to the store. And Trader Joe's isn't on there. So that makes me sad. I love Trader Joe's.
Oh, I get that. But yeah, I think, so for you, the good outweighs the bad and vice versa.
I don't know. There might be different times when I need different things.
Sure.
But I really do miss the exploration in the store.
So that's actually interesting. Going back to the question, right?
Yeah.
You actually enjoy doing all of that. So you found beautiful pleasure in going to a healthy grocery store, looking for certain things. And that, do you think that then feeds into your excitement about eating healthy?
Oh, yeah. I forgot what the question was because I got so excited about cooking. So, yes, I enjoy cooking and I enjoy finding new recipes on Pinterest and trying them out. And also, this helps me prepare for our show, Cheap Clean Eats. So, I'm always testing all sorts of different food.
Which, by the way, you guys need to check out that if you haven't already.
And we work with our nutritionist. And as far as working out, I mean, I've fallen in love with the feeling that I get after working out, which is, I'm sure, why you also do that. That feeling just is like you're on a high. And so I feel like, what's her name again? Do you remember? Okay, I just want to address her.
Amelia.
Amelia. So, Amelia, if you are listening to this and you feel like you're having to drag yourself to eat healthy and drag yourself to work out, then keep experimenting. Find something that works for you. Like there's so many workouts out there. You can literally do anything. You can even just walk. Like walking is great too, and it's underrated. But yeah, what do you think?
And well, I think that there's multiple things to this. You're absolutely right. Finding what you love, right? Because clearly, if you're finding it hard to eat clean and you're finding it hard to work out, then how do you tweak it so you actually do enjoy it, right? Because like anything, if there's no bonus, then what's going to drive you?
Yeah.
Now, my fear is that Amelia tries to use her drive as her kid, as having a child.
Okay.
The problem is it's a long-term goal, right? It's I need to get healthy. That may be months and months and months of doing it to get there. It's kind of like starting your own business,
Right.
As you know, starting your own business at the beginning is difficult. It's hard. It's arduous. It's long nights. And if you're just doing it for that final end goal to either be really rich, sell your company. Like, if all you're focusing on is that, you're never going to get there.
And who's to say that you're going to get there?
But that's what I mean. I don't think you'll ever get there.
Yeah.
But if you can find the pleasure and joy in the small things along the way, right? Think of it as like building a house, brick by brick.
Enjoy each brick.
Yes. So I fear that she's using her, like, I want to have kids as a way of trying to motivate herself. But ultimately, she's almost feeling disappointed in herself because she's like, hang on a minute, I so want kids and I'm finding it so difficult to eat clean. Like, I think she's feeling, you know, from the way she's phrasing it is that she feels somewhat lost. And so I don't think you can use your end goal excitement, right? Having a kid, building a business, whatever it is. I don't think you can use that as your daily motivator.
That's true.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. Find the joy in the little things.
Yes.
So finding the joy in food. So is she restricting herself too much, right? Is she, we started Quest because we realized you can't change behavior, but you can leverage it. So the one behavior you can guarantee is people love to eat.
Yep.
And people love to eat yummy food.
Yes, they do.
Don't try and change it, and don't try and persuade people to eat chicken and broccoli every day.
Yep.
It won't work, right? So what we did is we're like, okay, people love food. It's a community thing. People bond over food. You eat food when you're happy. You eat food when you're sad.
It's a cultural
thing. So don't try and force people to believe chicken and broccoli is the best thing on the planet. It's not. But what you can do is leverage it. So we created a protein bar that tasted amazing.
Yes.
That when you want to eat, but you still, again, going back to people want things to taste good, they've got something to turn to, right? Like with your recipes that you do. It's putting twists on things that people don't feel like they have to sacrifice. So if she's not having fun eating food and eating clean, like how do you tweak that to make you happy? Like what is that thing that's going to get you through every day, right? And just find that, like, I'm very low carb. I've been low carb for 10 years. And so I don't think twice about it. But for some people, they just can't be low carb.
Right. And everybody's super different.
Exactly.
You know, just recently I started taking out more meat out of my diet. I think I told you this last time. So I'm eating a lot more brown rice, quinoa, tofu, things that I really, really love, actually. And I haven't gained weight. I think I'm actually losing some weight. And
awesome.
And I had been paleo for a really long time and I was plateauing. I have a photo shoot coming up. This is why I'm trying and testing out a new diet. But I actually find it very enjoyable and easy for me. I found it was actually really hard to be paleo at times. And so I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what's working for me. And it's changing. It's always going to change. I may not do this forever, but who knows? Nothing is really forever. So
And that's the thing. So if it's not working for her, like if she really wants kids, you know, and she feels like she has to lose weight or get healthy to do it, think about the diet, right? And then going back to what you said about working out, right?
Yeah.
Know your truth. Know what you enjoy. Like people literally, like my sister, for instance, she loves Zumba and she loves all these things, and she thinks I think she thinks I'm pretty crazy for just all I do every day is lift weights. That is it. I don't do classes. I don't do cycling. I don't go outside and walk. I don't do, you know, people ask me to go on hikes with them. I don't do any of that.
Yeah.
But it's because I know what I love.
I love that you know what you love.
So, yeah, I think that whatever Amelia is trying to get to, it's the small things. It's the brick by brick, find the workouts that are meaningful to her.
Yeah.
So going back to the question beforehand about, like, I don't want to work out if I'm on my period, things like that. Like, just know yourself and know what's going to get you to be enthusiastic about what you do.
Yep. But I do want to say that I'm glad she's thinking about the health of her child too. Yeah. That she's starting now. So I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So in regards to working out, people are just going to... There were so many questions, honestly, that people want to ask you about working out that, you know, like we can't obviously cover everything here.
Yeah.
But if you had to do like one or two key takeaways about people who... And it always seems like people who have trouble, right? It's, I can't find motivation in the gym. I plateau. I don't know how to get up. I don't... Like, what is the... Like, if you could encompass everything, not to put you on the spot or anything, but what would that...
Encompassing everything means finding the joy in working out, finding the joy in eating healthy, because life should be fun. Like, don't do things that always make you feel like you're dragging your feet and you have to do stuff. Like, make it fun. And I think that has a lot to do with your own lens and your own perspective. You need to see it as fun, and you need to discover that fun. And for you, your fun and your zen is through your weightlifting. For me, I'm opposite. I love taking classes. I love changing it up all the time. And it's just different for everybody. And I think that's such a beautiful thing.
Do you think you can change your lens?
Yes. You can change your lens just like how you can take off glasses and put different glasses on. You can totally change your lens. And it starts in the mind. Right. The mind is stronger than the body. So you can tell yourself what you want to see. It's a very powerful thing. But if you keep telling yourself that I hate this and it isn't working, then your body's going to be like, well, fine, I'm not working, so I'm not going to work for you. Like, encourage your body by feeding it right, by doing things that it wants to do.
Right. And that's kind of going back to like, know yourself and what you do and why you do it. And then how you feel about it. Because that's not going to work for everybody, right? Like if I was to, in fact, we did this. We had a training session about 2 years ago. Do you remember where you did my workout and I did your workout?
Oh, yeah. And I taught you how to do the splits. Is this right? Yes.
So we did a whole...
working on those? No.
That would be the next thing I would try. But that's exactly what we did, right? Where I trained you weightlifting for 30
arms
minutes.
Or something like that. Yeah.
And then you totally like trained me with doing the splits, and we took a photo, and literally this photo is hilarious. Like, in fact, I think I posted it.
Oh, yeah.
If you go back at, literally, like, my splits are pathetic. And you're like, ta-da! But that was so much fun. But if I actually did like a week of your workouts, I think I would hate it. And I think if you did a week of my workouts, you'd hate it.
Well, I think I have phases, so I'm different. I go through. I had a weightlifting phase, and I loved it, and then I just wanted to do something different. Yeah.
So if you're gonna be motivated to work out or just working out in general, I think we're both totally aligned with like keep experimenting. Don't put pressure on yourself that you have to like something, that you should be doing it, that you should be running on a treadmill because you need to lose fat. Like stop thinking like you should, and really kind of go to like what do you enjoy, and I think that would just kind of take on its own life.
For sure. So guys, thank you so much for listening to our podcast, and please rate and subscribe. It would mean so much to us to hear your feedback. And we're always evolving, always listening to you, and keep asking us questions.
Yes.
And until next time,
be Sheroic.